Hi guys, welcome to the fourth session of Practical Approach to Java. And in this session, we'll go over some of the control flow statements in Java. So basically, we have the conditional statements, loops, and branching statements. All these controls the flow of the Java program. So these come under the control flow statements. So under the conditional statements, we have the switch case and we have the if-else conditions. So these basically check on a particular condition and executes the logic if that condition is true and a different logic if it is false. So let's see how the switch case works. So in the switch, we evaluate an expression which evaluates to a primitive data type like int or char or byte or short or long. It doesn't accept any other data types like float or double or any other object. And then we have multiple case statements with out of which one of the case statements matches with the value that has been evaluated here. In this case, the expression is just a variable day which has a value of 5. So we are checking for the values 1 to 7, and if none of them matches, then we display the default uh, condition, which is invalid day. So in this case, it has to display Friday because the case 5 is matching. And if you notice, we have a break statement for all of the case, which is not mandatory, but it's good practice because once an exact match is found, you want to execute that logic and then come out of the condition. So let's execute this. So it's displaying hello world from before and then Friday. Now if I change this day to something like 9, since none of the case statements matches, it falls back to the default condition. An invalid day. So this is how the switch case works, which is similar to most of the high-level languages. And let's now look at the if statement. So this again is similar to other languages like C or C++. The if statement basically evaluates a condition which could be either true or false, the only two Boolean conditions. And if it is true, then it executes the logic which is in the if block. Otherwise, it executes the logic in the else block. And similar to other languages, we can have even a else if else ladder, something like else if another condition under else if, and just we can write some statements here. For now, let us just look at the simple if else. So it's checking if A is less than B. So here A is 10 and B is 20. So it is going to display what is in the if block since the condition is true. And there you go. Okay, next let's look at the loop statements. So in the loop statements, we execute a set of instructions repeatedly until a condition becomes false. So for example, we start off count with 1 and we are checking for a condition of count less than 5. So until count is less than 5, this set of instructions will be executed repeatedly. Uh, and then once it's equal to 5, it comes out of the loop. So let's execute this and see. So we see count is it comes 4 times, and as soon as it's 5, it is not displaying that. So let us now see how the do while works. It's similar to the while, except that the condition is being checked at the end of the loop instead of at the beginning. So what happens is if we have a code something like this where we are incrementing the count in the beginning. So even after the count becomes 5 here, this sysout statement will be executed. So it executes 5 times, and then once it becomes 5, it comes out. So it executes one extra time as compared to the while loop because the condition is at the end. So let's execute this. and it started off with 2 because we are incrementing in the beginning itself. So next, let's see the for loop. So here what we are trying to do is we are trying to generate the multiplication table for a particular value. So the value here is 2, so we are generating a multiplication table for 2. So we are basically printing 2 into something equal to the value. So that something keeps changing from value equal to 1 to 10. So in the for loop also the condition check is similar to while loop. It's at the beginning of the loop, and the other additional thing we can do is we can initialize a variable, and also the incrementing or decrementing or whatever check that we need to maintain, that we can do that here. So we have here I less than or equal to 10, so it goes from 1 to 10. So let's just run this. So we have okay, 2 into I see what's happening here. I had to put this in inverted quotes. So yeah, so now we have the tables. So in all of these cases, the important thing is we need to have an exit condition. Otherwise, it goes into an infinite loop. That means we need to have a condition which makes the check to be false instead of true. Otherwise, it keeps on going, and it will lead to memory issues. So next, let's look at the branching statements. So we have three types: break, continue, and go to. I will not be discussing goto because using gotos is a bad coding practice, and if we use the break and continue in the right way, then we won't have the need to use goto. So so basically, the way the continue statement works is it's used in loops, any kind of loop like do while or for loop. I'm just taking an example of while loop here. The way continue works is when the continue statement is encountered, the the flow goes to the beginning of the loop, and it does not for that particular iteration it does not execute the instructions which is below the continue statement, and it shifts to the beginning of the loop and the next iteration follows. So for example here, you see we are starting off with count equal to 0, and we are doing this loop for until the count is less than 10, and here we are incrementing this. We are checking if the count divided by 2 is producing a remainder of 0, which means we are checking if it is an even number. If it's an even number, we are just continuing, which means this particular statement will not get executed for even numbers, and it goes to the beginning of the loop. And for odd numbers, this will be false, so it just displays this. So we are displaying the odd numbers from 1 to 9. Okay, let us execute this and see if it works. So if you see, it is displaying all the odd numbers. The next one is the break statement. So let's do the break. The way the break statement works is when it is encountered, the execution just comes out of the loop, and it goes, and the statements below the loop are executed. Here there is no statement below the loop, so the program just ends. So basically the break statement makes the execution to come out of the loop forcefully. So here let us have a different condition, like if count equal to 6. So which means that even though we this loop has the while loop checks until the count is less than 10, here due to this check we are breaking out of the loop as soon as 6 is reached. So it displays from 1 to 5. So that's it for this session. Thanks for watching, and if you have any doubts, please leave the comments. Thank you.